It's an opportunity for you to really touch you as well as the individuals in the room. Now, we're going to get started with our next guest. I do need you all to, if you can, give my brother the same love and attention. Now, my brother, let's start with your name.
Sure.
But like everyone else, the name is just your name.
Right.
Let's talk about who you are also.
Okay.
Okay?
My name is Mike Utabulum.
Yeah, so let's get a little closer because I want
Okay.
everybody to hear you.
Cool.
Yeah.
My name is Mike Utabulum. I run Black Digital. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I run Black Digital, a marketing agency based out of DC, but we also do work throughout the Northeast, and we really help our clients win through marketing solutions. And so I am from Jacksonville, Florida, first generation American, and that really drives a lot of what we do today.
Got it. And I want to dive right into the what you do because a lot of times people use that digital and it's almost like throwing water on the floor.
Right.
The floor's not clean. It's got a lot of water on it, right?
Right.
But there's a digital design that our businesses need to really get consciously into implementing in everything that they do, right?
Right.
So let's talk about first, what is digital design?
Yep. So, like you said, it's very wide.
Yes.
And so this could be a logo, right? For a lot of companies, it's just a logo or a brand or a visual. But as we move further into a digital age, it really means your presence online. And so kind of like how we had business cards and brochures in the back of the day, a website is the basic form of entry. Every company needs a website if you're going to compete in the future. And so that's really what we really help companies go online and come to brand and bring their brands online. And then, of course, the next phase is advertising to help them get new audiences that they don't have right now.
So that digitization, I don't know if that's a word or not, but it sounds kind of crazy.
Right.
How did you start it?
How did I start the business? Or how did I start?
No, how did you start your business?
Oh, yeah.
But when we begin to think about how do we digitize our business
Yep.
so that our customers are aware that we exist, let's go into the how you started,
Yep.
and then how should other people get started.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a great question. So I started my career off as a graphic designer. I worked for a Tampa Chamber of Commerce, so very, very similar to an urban league. So it's a combination of businesses. And I had a mentor at the time, and he said, "Hey, this is 2011, I think." And he said, "Hey, I'm seeing where the market is going. Your job is going to be replaced, so you can stay a designer or you can go digital." And this is before Canva. And so when Canva came around, that really crashed the market in terms of pricing. But by that point, I had already gained skills in terms of digital strategy, web dev, advertising. And so I was ahead of the game by that point. And so I became a thought leader in that space. And that's how I pivoted into entrepreneurship.
Got it. So again, you listened.
Right.
You already have some skills, and then you began to say, how do I literally take that skill to market?
Yep.
For our businesses, a lot of us are just kind of like figuring it out. We
Right.
are in business.
Right.
And that's why this month was about taking the side hustle into a business.
Yep.
And you hear my sister, how she started just realizing that I can do more than drink wine.
Mhm.
I can literally make money off of other people drinking
Right.
and enjoying. When you think about our businesses, what are we doing when it comes to digitizing and allowing ourselves to be in that process of being able to move our business?
The biggest issue that I see with companies these days is you're not thinking of the customer. So you're building these solutions and these products in isolation, and then you go to market and then nobody buys it because you didn't think of the customer and how are you going to push it out into the market. And so that's where we come in is, a lot of companies will say, "Hey, I need a logo," but we go deeper in to say, "Why do you want a logo?" And it's always deeper than that, right? "I need a new website." Why? And it's always more than that. And then you go deeper, and then what they're really saying is they want more brand awareness. They want more customers online. And so we help them get deeper into that, give them strategy support, and then help them go to market so that they can get those customers and become profitable.
Profitability is real, but brand awareness is part of that profitability, right?
Right.
So how do we get into brand?
So that's tough. I think for a lot of companies, a lot of small businesses, you are the brand, right? So you start off as being the face of the brand. A lot of people know you, so your first customers are probably friends and family, and they're probably not paying you full price. They probably want a discount.
You know my cousin.
Right, right. So they want the discount, and then also you're black. So I think that there are
You
those
know my whole
things.
family now.
Right, right. And then what happens is you become so ingrained with the brand that when you bring a team or you bring other team members, people are still asking for you. And a lot of businesses never get out of that, right? They never get out of the founder syndrome. And so if you're going to scale, if you're going to have a brand, if you want to do this long term, you have to remove yourself from the face of the brand, and that business has to survive. And if it doesn't, that's an opportunity for you to expand your brand and really work on it. But that's what I recommend for any small business is thinking about what this looks like when you were not on the forefront.
What does it look like? And as you look at your business from the inside out, what have you discovered about it that you realize that most people don't because they haven't had the internal look at their brand?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money. I think it's people don't realize how much you have to spend to make money. And it's not just funds or cash, it's time. It's professional development. And this is constant. This is our 6th year in business, and I'm still doing things like this podcast and traveling and going to conferences because I know that is going to expand our brand and our business. It just costs a lot of money, and you have to be willing to invest and sacrifice because being an entrepreneur is risk and sacrifice. You have to be willing to do that in order to go to the next level.
Now, you meet hundreds of people a day because you're making it happen, right?
Yep.
That step that most people miss, that you realize it, because you can sit back and say, I've been doing it long enough, 6 years, but even before 6 years, I've been, cultivating this. Right. What is that step that you think most people don't even know that they need to take now?
They need to expand.
Need to expand. So, come on, let's unpack that one.
Solopreneur is the easiest way for your business to die, right? Because you are the single point of failure. And so we're humans, we get sick, life happens, but that business has to continue to run. And so I don't know if any of the business owners here that are running a business and then you just have an off day, but clients are coming, you are losing money on that day because you don't have a team, you don't have structures, you don't have systems. That is the biggest way that companies fail, especially Black-owned businesses. That's why that 5-year period happens, is because you haven't scaled to the point to where you have a team and systems and processes so that business can operate outside of you. Again, founder syndrome. So that's the biggest thing that we see with businesses.
Now, at the Greater Washington Urban League, we're using Asana. And Asana is allowing us to task everything and know who's responsible for that task.
Yep.
What are some of the other digital solutions that we need to utilize to be able to scale to the point of operation?
Yeah. So what I would say is if there are key tools to have, Asana or Monday or a PM system is good. The key is you have to have someone that isn't you running it, right? Again, you have to have that person. It could be a VA, it could be someone else, but you can't be doing that and running the business at the same time. You also have to have a website.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And I think there are people that you need in your life, in your business. I call it a committee, like your board of directors, right? You have to have an accountant. Accountant is so important. You can't run a business and do QuickBooks. You can't do bookkeeping. It's impossible, right? You need a lawyer, right? Because we'll get into it later. There are things that you are required to know as a business owner that will be penalized for not doing. You need a lawyer. You need contracts, right? Mm-hmm. You also need a mentor or a coach. These are two different positions. So a mentor is someone that's going to be a cheerleader. They're going to help you think about problems on a larger scale that you can't see, because at your point in business, there are things that you can't see because you're in the business. And then you also need a coach or an incubator like Greater Washington Urban League or like Waycliffe, something like that.
Yep, Waycliffe is great.
People that will teach you the basics of business so that you can move on to the next level. So you need these things. You need a board of directors, you need a presence, and then you need the willingness and the resilience to be able to move forward when the days suck. When things happen that are just so hard, you need that resilience to keep you going on to the next level.
The Greater Washington Urban League, we're looking within. We're looking at the businesses that we've helped, but we've also looking at the niches that we have not dominated. Mm-hmm. And when I think about the digital space, we're not really maximizing telling our story. We want to tell the story of the businesses,
Right.
but we want to bring those businesses back around a dinner table and we want to dine together on purpose, where your brand and that person beside you brand realize that we're branding and we're stronger together. What are some things that you know we can do on brand digitally to get the world to know that we exist?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing there is storytelling, but also the success, right? People are attracted to success. And so if the Urban League is say, hey, we've helped this many businesses in this specific industry succeed through this way, you're going to attract those people to come to you. And also creating a safe space where people can just tell you, like, I'm struggling with this problem, where there's finances, where there's legal, where there's accounting, and the Urban League provides those solutions, real solutions, not just like a document or a PDF, for them to be able to sort through those problems. Because any entrepreneur, we have problems that we can't even talk to anybody else about. They don't understand.
And she's smiling. She's
Right,
like,
right.
yes, I've been there.
Family don't understand, friends don't understand. Only other entrepreneurs understand those problems.
Yes.
And so creating a space for entrepreneurs to come together and talk through those problems and get resources would be great.
And that's why the Urban League exists. And that's why Business Wisdom Wednesdays exist here at Hush Harbor. Now, that microphone is live, right? This brother is here. Please, it's an opportunity to ask that question. He just said it. If we don't ask, we don't know, and we don't grow. Thank you, sis.
How do you?
Tell us your name.
Oh, my name is Leslie Freelo.
Hey, Leslie.
And how are you coaching your clients to incorporate AI in their businesses, or are you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have
Thank you,
to.
sister.
It's a must at this point. I think the first thing we say is go on to ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever AI software that you use and say, what do you know about my business? That's the biggest thing, because it'll tell you, it'll go online and it really will show you like how your SEO is doing, what they know. That's an opportunity. And then how do I rank against my top 5 competitors in this space, right? And then from there, we have the conversation in terms of where do you want to be in terms of revenue wise, because now we're having a conversation with clients about how is the revenue, how can we help you get to the next level? And then we have steps to help you get to that next level, whether it's partnerships, putting you in contact with the right people, and then the strategy, of course, from the marketing perspective.
Now, I use AI a lot, but that was the first time I heard someone to say, ask to look in first, look in my business, because a lot of times I know I use it looking outward. What's next? How can I monetize? I can do this. At Inspire, we do a deep dive into the digital identity of brands, but I'm gonna check that out. So that's a great question. Look within, even using AI.
Good evening, my young friend. My name is Chef Reese, and you said something extremely important. You said you need a mentor and a coach, and they're different. Explain, please.
Great question.
So a mentor can be someone that isn't in your industry. They don't really know where you're from, or they don't have any. So for you, like, you could have a mentor that may have been really good in government marketing or really good in scaling businesses, but has no idea what being a chef is like. But they can help you see and navigate problems in terms of funding, raising capital, how to expand your business. So it's still very important. Also, a mentor is your cheerleader and advocate. So that's big. So there are days where, like I said, entrepreneurship sucks. Most of the days suck. That's the reality of it. They're going to help you move beyond those days that suck and really and advocate for you. A business coach must come from your industry. They must be totally integrated into what you're doing. They must have past performance, and they must show you that they have helped similar businesses scale, and they will give you specific tools and a pathway to succeed. So a coach can be a mentor, but a mentor cannot be a coach.
I love it. Great question. Hey, sister.
Hi, my name is Afua. I work with the Greater Washington Urban League. Really quick, what tips would you give a small business or entrepreneur that's trying to grow their business as far as branding and marketing, but they don't have the means to pay for your services right now?
Yeah, love that question. What kind of business do you have?
No, I work with the Greater Washington Urban League.
She comes across so many businesses.
I do my own nails right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great question.
very transparent. What I would say is you have to save, right? This is that investment. This is where things cost money. Entrepreneurship costs money, but when you have low funds, you can have partnerships. So we have a pro bono program that we take like 2 or 3 clients at no cost. Small businesses like yours, to where we help them scale, and then we provide similar services that we would charge clients for. But what I would say is Wakeif, Washington Urban League. There are companies and business incubators that will give you funds to then get a marketing agency. So Wakeif is a good example. Like I went through like an 8-week program with them,
You did that too. It's a great program,
It's
and
an
you get to
amazing-
meet so many people. Yeah.
and they gave me $10,000.
Woo.
Right, I did. So I think like that grant, and that helped us because we were struggling on payroll. So I split it in between payroll and also hiring our first accountant. So there are so many resources that are out here that have problems with awareness, but they're out there for you or any business owner. That is free money, free opportunity.
Great question. You have a question, sister?
I do.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. It's funny that you did mention Chat GPT because that's actually how I found both of you to come and speak tonight. So
Yeah.
literally the prompt that I put in successful Black
That's love.
businesses in the Washington, D.C. area. That's literally how I found you all. But my question is, what is one of the greatest challenges you've had with your business, and how did you overcome that?
Great question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long answer, but I think it's important because Black people, Black business owners, we need to talk about numbers, right? So I'm going to open up to you all because this is numbers. So the biggest challenge that I have personally is accounting. I hate it. I have a weekly accounting call, and I literally am like, I don't care, but I have to because of the accounting and finances are the lifeblood of any business. So the first year I went into business, I went from working for a nonprofit to being a consultant solo. I made $300,000 first year, and then I get a notice in the mail from IRS, right? And Uncle Sam was like, "Congratulations on your success. You owe us $80,000." Right? Yeah, right. And this is because I didn't have an accountant. I was single, unmarried, no kids, no house, no deductibles. Uncle Sam's like, "Oh, okay, come on. But you take your time. We'll give you a payment plan, but you owe us $80,000, right?" Right. And so again, I said this earlier. When you're an entrepreneur, there are risks to this, and there are penalties for mistakes. And that was a major penalty. And so the second year, hired an accountant, hired a coach, and then we went from 300,000 to 450. Year 3, we hit 450 again. And then I said, I really want to make it to the next level. So I hired a coach, invested in Wakeif, invested in other incubators, and then really had like an open moment with the people that I was with. And I talked to my team. I said, hey, we need to go to the next level. So year 4 went from 450 to $1 million. We finally hit $1 million in revenue.
That's good. Come
Thank
on,
you.
man. Come on.
So that was big for
And
us.
you still had to pay taxes, though, right?
Still had to pay taxes,
Oh,
but
man.
not never $80,000. That we have never seen an $80,000 bill again, right? Because again, it's those who don't hear must feel. So that's the last time we felt that. Year 5, which is last year, 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
This year we are down 200,000, but it happens.
It does happen. It's a roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Yes.
Still profitable. So the same risk that I had to take that year 3, I now have to take now, but it looks different because I have full-time staff.
Wow.
Right. And so entrepreneurship is constant risk. And we may lose because of the risk that I have to take now, but I have to take these, and I'm fearless about them because I know it'll unlock the next future for us.
And I like that you, no matter what, you are always connecting, learning, and sharing.
Right.
It is important for us to think about how can we share. A lot of times we're waiting to say, well, I need a little bit more money, or I need a little bit more of this, but there's something that you can share.
Right.
Can you give us some examples of that sharing where it came back to you?
Of sharing of advice that came back to me?
Yeah, sharing advice, or because again, you do pro bono work.
Right.
You've worked with a censor. You work with a lot of organizations. I've done my homework, right? And a lot of times you do that at cost. Sometimes
Right.
you're right. And I wanted to say that out loud because a lot of times it's in the gift that we grow.
Right.
even more than we get from saying, you know what, you got to pay me right now.
Right,
You know,
right,
You
right.
got to get paid.
Listen, if we charged for everything we did, we'd be a $3 million agency without question. I mean, during those accounting calls, my accountant's like, "Why are you doing all of this work for free?" And I'm like, "I really believe in these companies, and so if that means we got to take a loss or we got to take a hit, like we'll do it because we know what we do helps them." And then in turn, they open up doors for us through referrals. They tell us about work that's coming that may not be out there to the public. So I'm big on paying it forward because it'll come back to you, right? And when you're a business owner, you have to get paid, so you have to charge, but also realize there's value in doing stuff like this, giving free services, bartering, partnering. There's a lot of value there because then it'll come back to you.
I just got finished doing chicken and champagne.
Oh,
Yes, right?
I need to know about that event.
Oh man, yeah, it was amazing. And the Ruby Southern Kitchen, not only did her staff, but she hired more people. There were well over 500 people who spent, close to $500 ticket. But on top of that, the network that happened. You leave, even with Salamander, with Black Family Reunion, there's something happens when you get connected with individuals.
Right.
Leading to my question, what are some of the connections that happen in Wakefield or happen in some of the incubators you went through that helped you that you didn't know before you got there? Because a lot of times, if we're not in a room, we're missing it, right?
Right. I'm very big on say your dreams and problems out loud because you give an opportunity for someone to solve it or to help them. And so with these programs, I'm not a very forward person. Like I'll be in the back, but I have coaches and mentors who force me to do things. And so with Wake If, with Washington Urban League, and even some of the companies we work with, they connect us with so many executives and buyers and people that we normally couldn't connect with who are looking to help. And so I think there was a conversation that I had about like, hey, I'd really like to meet this person, work with this company. And I said it in a room and they're like, oh, I know this person. They called them on the phone and they were our client within the next week. So it's really important if you're in areas like this, say what you want. Tell people your dreams, allow people to see if they can help you accomplish those dreams.
Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Now, I have two more questions, and then we're going to roll into some amazing music.
Yep.
We are trying to make sure that young people know that there's a space for them.
Yep.
A lot of times, we might look to the right of us and to the left of us, and we don't know where they are.
Yep.
What are you doing in your path to make sure that young people are part of your next?
Yeah, so we use social a lot. So we really talk about on social, LinkedIn, Instagram, what the day in the life of working at an agency. And also we have internships. And then we also like give speeches. Like we have a partnership with Howard University. We also work with other HBCUs and really give them an insight into what this looks like and then an opportunity. So we incubate some students and then help them get that job at a bigger agency or for a brand. So that's how we really get back to the younger population.
Now, Business Wisdom Wednesday is all about connection, right?
Right.
And I don't know about you, but when my sister is thinking about her next trip and how we're going to connect the wine to the chefs and the chefs and the wine to the best consumer, how can we get connected to your services so that we can take the businesses to their next level? For people who want to reach you, how do we get connected?
Yeah, we'll always point people to our website first. blackdigitalgroup.com or black.digital, whichever is easier. That's the easiest way to learn about our company and get in contact with us or me directly.
And what's next for this company that we're connecting to now?
Yeah,
What's next for you?
So I'm trying to turn us into a $3 million agency within the next 2 years. So that's what's next. So we're doing the work now, taking the risk, and really want to double our revenue within the next 2 years.
Okay. My brother, please give my brother a hand. We're going to literally turn the music back up, but we're going to get into our first set. What we want to do with Business Wisdom Wednesday is have something for everybody. So please get to know someone. Is the food still here? Because I know everybody been drinking and sipping on that soup. It's really good. Can we give Chef Jay some love, please? And right before we go into our next set, I got to ask brother Chef Rock Harper just to come up to say hello, bro. I'm in home, so I got to